This is Christina. So, this is about diet or weight loss or obtaining your ideal body. And I actually wrote this program with my husband specifically just for weight loss. I have had, this probably 4 months now I've been doing this. And of course, one of the first things I was working on was losing weight, I am. And I've had some great success. I definitely have lost weight, or I don't know if it's a weight loss or it is just my body is getting better. I'm getting better with food. I'm having a lot more success. But I have never really just focused on weight loss. And I realized, upon talking to my husband and other people that are trying to lose weight, that weight loss needs to be its own specific tool. It needs to be its own release, and you need to do it in a specific program. It's just one that is going to work better. And if this program works for weight loss, we can definitely expand it to work for other things. So I want to do a 12-week weight loss program, but I'm working on it too. So I am far from achieving my ideal weight. I'm far from achieving my ideal body shape. So I'm going to do this 12-week right along with anybody who wants to, and we will, through this 12 weeks, grow and expand what this program is. Like I said, this is all about doing this live in real time with everybody else. It's a community of people doing this together, including me. So it's not that, oh my gosh, I've had just an immense success. I've had some. I definitely have had some, so I want to share that part and bring that to this, and I want to, but I want more. And so let me just describe what I'm looking at when I'm thinking, for me, as weight loss. I can't look at numbers, only because numbers aren't always as real or as telltale as they should be for me. I'm not saying anybody else can't look at numbers if that's what they want to see. I just know for me, if I look at numbers and that's all I look at, then if I have a day where I don't lose anything, I'll come back and feel really awful about it, and it'll be hard to continue. The same goes if I only look at how clothes fit. I'll go, there might be a day that I have retained water. I live in a really hot area, and when the days are really hot and I've been outside, my body fills up, and I'll immediately take that as gained weight, even though I've done just fine. So I'm not going to do it on that. And I also am not going to do it on calories. I'm not going to count calories. I'm not going to limit how much or what I eat. This is not going to be part of this either. So I'm hoping it's not for you either. And the reason I say that is, the diet industry is a billion-dollar industry that set us to fail. It wants, you to go on weight. And trust me, I've done them all. I've done Weight Watchers, I've done the fasting program, I've done some keto, I've done some Atkins, I've done a lot of different things. And I'll have some success and I'll always get it back. There's times I've gotten really thin and put it all back on. But when I remember back to when I was my thinnest and it was natural and easy, it was just because I was happy. I was happy. Food didn't mean the same thing to me when I was happy. I ate, but I don't remember food being that important. I remember instead of living to eat, I ate to live. I ate it to nourish my body. I remember enjoying my food. If I wanted a cake for dinner, I had a cake for dinner. If I wanted to eat almonds all day, that's what I did. I didn't worry that much about it because it was more about me living my life and being really excited. So I need to return to that. And I will say, I hope everybody kind of returns to that it's not the eat to, live to eat, it's eat to live. And we all enjoy food. I love food. I love, and I'm the biggest person who's like, I want Thai food tonight, or I want to have Mexican, and I'm very specific. I have very desired tastes, So food is a big deal for me. So I'm not going to, no, it's not. But, I do want to base my food on eating to nourish my body. Eating because it tastes good. Eating because it's important to live, but not because I'm living for the next meal. That being said, let me go through this program for you, what I wrote up and designed, and it may tailor a little bit as we continue working on it. As I do this, it's going to be 12 weeks in length, and I'm going to do it 12 weeks from this week. So whatever time you see this or day you see this, you can do your own 12 weeks, 6 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever works for you. And so this is 12 weeks of me talking about it and working the program. And this is working on, several law of attraction versions along with this releasing program that I am, have been working with on my own. This is also, I believe that you set things off to the universe, to your God, whatever. For me, it is the universe, and sometimes it's God. I do have a background in religion. I was raised religious, so sometimes God is comfortable, but it's that release and then letting these messages come back, helping me get through this process. So that release program doesn't change. But so I'm going to give you a few jobs, and you can do this after this video. You can do it, you can pause the video and go do it now, whatever you want to do, but do make notes on how I'm going to work this program and how I want to see you work this program too. So first, I want you to come up with a power statement. This power statement is what you want to achieve. And like I said, I'd like to see people stay away from numbers just because the diet industry has used numbers, our weight, our scale, our BMI, all that against us for so many years. So I want to pull away from that if I can. And if you can, I think you should too. But if your numbers won't work for you, it's something that it makes sense to you, that's fine. You may find later as you're doing this and as you're releasing these things and you're getting your messages back from God on what you should be doing with this, that the numbers don't work. So be prepared for that. All right, so like my power statement is I am going to return to the thin and comfortable body that I know. And this is a lot of meaning for me, and because like I said, I remember the times when my body was thin and I was comfortable with it. Food was not important. I can have a visual picture of what that was like. I remember being, a size 4 and walking into any store and being able to try on clothes, and I was always one of the smaller size, and the things people, oh, you're so little. I remember those times, and they were great. But I mostly remember not just being thin, but it was comfortable. To me, being thin was comfortable. It was comfortable for my body. And I don't mean that in like, oh, I like the attention I got. It just felt good. And one of the things I always remember is flying an airplane seat. As funny as it sounds, when you have a little weight on you, it's not as comfortable to fly. These seats are small, especially nowadays they're getting smaller. And so one of my things is, I'd like to, my husband and I travel quite a bit, and we're planning on traveling some more. And I'd like to be back to that when traveling in any airline seat was comfortable for me because of my size, or in any seat for that matter. It's always comfortable. I mean, it feels good to me. And it's comfortable also when I sleep, and it's comfortable on how my clothes fit. Like, now I'm still having to make sure that I pick out the clothes that hang just right where I feel comfortable with it. And I remember before I could throw anything on, I could be in jammies all day. I didn't care. I felt like my body was comfortable. So that's the main thing for me. So that is my power statement, that I am returning to my comfortable thin body. So I hope you find something like that works, whatever is comfortable for you. And again, this doesn't have to do with weight. And when I was at my thinnest, I can't even tell you actually what I weighed. I think a few times I might have weighed myself, but I don't really know. So then I want you to look at a scale, and I'm choosing a scale of 1 to 10. You can choose 1 to 20, 1 to 5, whatever is comfortable. Like 1 to 10 works for me because 1 to 10 scale is used often in different areas that I work. So 1, being not comfortable, 10 being incredibly comfortable. So I want you to put what you feel like your number is on this scale of 1 to 10 of getting success on weight loss in this 12 weeks, or doing this program, or where you're at even just personally at this moment. Where do you think you're at on a scale of 1 to 10? Like, I will be honest, before I started this releasing a few months ago, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would have put a 0. I felt no confidence in weight loss. I felt no confidence in getting that body back. Now, since I've been working on this, and like I said, I work on it, but I'm definitely working on several other areas harder. I have an isolated weight loss as a specific thing. It's always been kind of attached to other things. So, but I would say now, just with what I have done, I would say I'm a 4 or 5. I feel much more confident. That's why I'm putting this together. I'm halfway there, feeling like I can do it. I can do anything I need to do with this. So, and the last piece I want you to do is write down any issues, good or bad, that you have around weight. And I want you to just let these free flow. There's no numbers on it. I just want it to free flow out. So, you know, I have a journal that I got, and I wrote them all down in a journal. And let me share just a couple with you while I'm here. So, one of the issues I have to get over is some of the stuff I learned in childhood about my weight. Weight was a definite issue for my mom and for my father. And not that they were overweight, but people being overweight, or their children being overweight, or what causes being overweight, or food that causing it. That's definitely an issue. And also, you know, I did grow up in the time when, well, Twiggy's a little bit older, but Twiggy's thing was still there. Anorexia was a big deal when I was growing up. You know, it was acceptable actually to be anorexic. It was, you know, I mean, I'm still from like the post-cocaine era where people would do cocaine heavily to get thin. Thinness was a really big deal when I was growing up. To be extremely thin, to not eat, were admired. These women who would starve themselves, you know, was considered great. I remember comments from people saying, well, you know, you're beautiful, but if you just stopped eating and became anorexic, you would be gorgeous. Just think about it, being anorexic. And these were little comments made to me because this is the era that I'm from. And like I said, issues with my mom and dad. You know, they didn't do anything to hurt me necessarily, but they're from that same era. Thin was in, thin. And so you were to do what you could to encourage, especially your daughters, to be incredibly thin. I mean, my mom put me on Weight Watchers, I think the first time when I was 9. And I remember being so hungry as I go to school, you know, at these formative years, and my lunchbox would have carrots and peanut butter and maybe a little bit of tuna fish. I mean, I was hungry. These were small amounts of food. And so, you know, and I didn't even know what being overweight was. I didn't, you know, we didn't have treats. We didn't have this stuff in my house. So anyway, and so these are issues I'm dealing with. My relationship with men. I definitely, when I'm thin, got a lot of attention from men, and some of it got to be a little overwhelming because it's hard for me to tell people no. And so when I get all these, you know, men after me when I was thin, at times it got a little overwhelming. And also, you know, the fact that a lot of the men I dated, no matter how thin I was never good enough. I would date these men and they would say, you're not thin enough, get thinner. Anyway, so buying clothes, that was always fun, and that's a positive for me. Getting dressed, like I said, when I was thin, I loved getting dressed because it was comfortable. Clothes were comfortable. I could wear, you know, like now I can't wear a pair of sweatpants because they always make me look kind of heavy. But at the time, I remember sweatpants actually looked cute when I was thin. And I see girls out now who will wear these really cute designer sweatpants, and they're cute. And so these are just little things that meant a lot to me. The list goes on and on and on. And I mean, I think I wrote probably 2 or 3 pages just about the things I want to give up and the issues I have. Some are positive, some are negative. There's lots of different things to remember. You want both. You want to have issues you need to give up, and you want to have issues that you don't want to give up. So, and then I did that releasing technique. You know, I spent a long time on this at first release. I really put them in, and I imagine them going, you know, releasing this ball of issues and letting them be these little birds up in the sky, and these birds get cleaned and washed up by the universe and sent back down to me, all cleaned up, ready to go and help me improve my life. So I just did this big release, and I haven't gotten messages back yet, I'll be honest. You know, I'm big on getting a lot of messages, everybody, a lot of messages. And I haven't gotten any back, but I just did this because this is new. I wanted to do this real with you. So I did it right before filming this, intentionally. This is ours to do together. So the only other pieces that I am going to do, I did my journaling, and I did I released my issues. I gave myself a scale and a power statement. The only thing I need to do next is do these I am. And I'm going to do this every time I start to feel myself drift. I'll say, I am beautiful. I am naturally thin. I'm thin. I am beautiful the way I am. I'm going to just say these compliments. And this is really important because, you know, I am, it signifies you one with the universe or one with God. And so when you say, I am beautiful, you're reminding God, you're reminding the universe of what you're trying to achieve. I am beautiful. I am thin. I have my ideal body back. You're signaling that you're becoming one with God. You're releasing this to your universe, and you're reminding the universe you have released it. And when it comes to something like weight loss, we all can, especially if you're like me, you have quite a bit of trauma around weight in your body and how you feel about yourself. And so you need, it may not be a quick release, or also something we haven't talked about a lot, as the messages come back, they may not always be so lovely. You may be like, oh, I just, feel fantastic. Sometimes messages come back and they're intense. I remember getting, when I first did a small release on weight loss, I got a message back about how I acted towards other people. This vivid memory came over me about how I treated other people who were overweight. And I remember being kind of cruel and thinking, I don't have a right to be thin if I'm going to treat other people poorly. And it was in the back of my head, I believe. One thing I haven't talked about a lot, I realized, like, when I first released weight, there was a thing that came back to me that I realized I'll base relationships on how people treat me because of my weight. So it's almost like a test to my husband, a test to my friends. Can they like me just the way I am, or do I have to be thin for acceptance? And so as these messages come, you need to let them go. And then you need to do these power statements. I am beautiful. I am happy. That's probably one of the biggest. I am happy. I love myself. I love others. All these really positive energy statements, things that raise your vibration naturally and make great things come back to you, because you need to be at this high vibration. That's the goal of all this. You release it and let all this stuff come back in this high vibrational status, raising your own vibration up, so only great things come to you, including weight loss. Now, the one thing to remember about weight loss, most of the time when you're looking about manifesting or creating a better life, it's all about creation, right? Creation. So you're looking at creating more money, creating abundance, creating a new love, all creating. And weight loss is different because you're looking at a loss. And so that's kind of almost an oxymoron to the law of attraction, or to creating a better life, or even releasing. Oh my gosh, I'm releasing something to give it away, weight loss. So that's why you need to make sure that all of your affirmations are, all of your I am statements, even your power statement, needs to stay on this positive thing. I am my ideal body weight. I am naturally thin. I am happy. You don't want to put them as, I'm down to 120 pounds, because it's working at that loss. And you'll find that any kind of loss signifies a negative in your life. You'll start feeling it. I'm down to 115, and you start, it's a loss, and it will confuse everything you're doing. If you're trying to lose in one area and gain in another area, you might confuse things. You always want to be looking at how to gain the best, gain the most power. I want to gain a beautiful body. I want to gain a perfect shape. I want to gain my confidence. I want to gain feeling great about who I am. I want to gain the ability to go buy beautiful clothes. I want to gain the ability to have, a beautiful life. I want to gain the ability to find my partner. You don't want to, I'm going to lose my bad moods. I'm going to lose 120 pounds. You want to gain the power to lose weight. You want to gain, everything is about gaining and bringing in the best, the most positive, raising that vibration, not living in this negative realm of, unless I get to be 110 pounds, I'm never going to be happy. No, I want, who knows what your ideal weight is? You want to say, I gain happiness. I gain the ability to not eat through emotions. I gain the ability to take messages from God and put them into my life to make the greatest life. This is what this is about. So now what I want you to do every day is, as you get these messages, remember, they can be subtle. They may just be a feeling, or maybe you're off to eat you're upset at work, or you're upset at your husband, or whatever, you watched a movie and they were eating donuts, you're like, oh, those look really good, but I'm not hungry. And you go to reach for that donut, you may say, wait a minute, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry, and this isn't, I remember the first time I gave away eating, and I used to really, really love sweets. And my kids got some cookies, and I went to have a cookie, and it just didn't taste good. It tasted terrible. It was a cheap cookie for one, but normally I would just gobble that stuff up, but it didn't taste good. And I remember thinking, oh, this is a message. This is a message that this isn't something I need to be, cheap food that I'm not hungry for, that isn't good for me, has always been a way that I use to cope with whatever emotion I'm going through. And I don't need that. And because all of a sudden it just didn't taste good. And when I recognized that, I put the cookie back down, and I actually haven't touched them since. Well, I mean, even if I look at them or I even think about tasting them, they just don't feel good to me. I'm not saying I don't eat sweets. Like, my husband and I, were like, we want a good dessert. We went and found a really good dessert, and we actually just had some small little bits of it, and it was great. We really enjoyed it. So it's not like I gave up sugar. I didn't give up sugar. I didn't give up treats. I just gave up the need to use them as an escapism. When I have it, it's on purpose. It's for a treat. It's for nourishment, because that's what my body wants right now, is to have a really nice treat. The same with, I've come to appreciate being hungry, which is really fun. That's actually one of my things. Like, I used to panic and fear being hungry. I think because for me, hunger always signified I was on a diet. It meant I was having to go without. And now I look at hunger and I say, you know what? This means I'm going to go have a really good meal because I'm hungry, and I'm going to tell my husband I'm hungry. What are we going to go have? Let's go think about it. And we pick up a great place and we go have this delicious meal, whatever we really want. And we enjoy it. We sit down and it's been a piece of, we enjoy it. And so being hungry doesn't scare me anymore. Being hungry is actually fun for me, because I'm like, oh, that means I'm ready to go eat. That means I'm really hungry. And, this is available to you. These are messages I get, and they're messages you'll get. You will get them. You just have to be open and know that they're going to come in strange ways, like a cookie tastes bad. Or hunger, you'll say, oh, hunger, that's good. Be like, thank you, God, for showing me that I actually do get hungry. I do. I mean, that was the first thing I realized. The first time I really felt starving, I was like, thank you. Because I didn't know for years. I had been stifling food in for so long for whatever these things were that I need to let go of, that I didn't even know I could feel hungry. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, I can feel hungry. And I liked it. And I remember feeling hungry when I was naturally thin. I felt hungry, and I remember always thinking, oh, what do I want to eat? It was exciting, and that same feeling came back to me. What am I going to go have? I'm really excited. Let's think of the best kind of food we want to eat, and let's go enjoy it, because we're really hungry. So anyway, these are the messages that'll come through. I would like to I hope everybody finds at least a couple minutes every day to just jot into their journal the messages they're getting, the things they're seeing, they're changing. Like for me, oh, the cookie didn't taste good today. I noticed that. These little messages, these little signals, these little things that you're doing to forgive yourself and to let go of all this stuff and allow your body to be its natural, beautiful shape, you need to keep note of. The other thing I just want to mention before I go, I know this is kind of long, but note also what is natural for you. Because I know we all have this ideal, we don't all, but a lot of people will have this ideal that only if you're super skinny are you going to be beautiful. And that may not be the case for everybody. There's a lot of really amazing women I know that carry weight, but I think they're just beautiful. And all of them will tell you, well, it's just the way my body wants to be. I eat, I exercise, whatever, and I'm just happy the way I am. And they are totally beautiful the way they are. And if that is the case for anybody, you gotta learn to love you through that, and so I want to just put that out there before you go very far and, discover you're not losing a lot of weight. Maybe it's where your body is. It's about being healthy, being happy, loving yourself fully, loving who you are, loving your life, bringing the best parts forward, whatever that may be. and accepting and being excited for it, because this program will do this for you. It will make you excited and feel like, wow, there is no stopping me. I am great the way I am. And you will be amazed at what comes into your life because you live this, and so I hope everybody keeps joining me. Every week I will post again just on the weight loss, what I discovered through the week, and like I said, and I will release as necessary. You don't have to release every week, but as necessary, as it comes about. Say, I'm going to release today. I feel like all this information came up and I need to release it. And it's your way of praying or talking to God. Think of it that way through this weight loss. And this isn't about making mistakes or eating right or not eating right. This is about allowing the messages to come in and releasing everything out and letting your body naturally take the shape it wants to take. And coming through with that power statement, the one you've given yourself, and having that as the final result. Not a weight, but this image, this power that you've created for yourself. I've created this power statement. I want to be thin and comfortable again. That's what my goal is, and that's what it's going to be. Whatever the final result may be, I'll know when I get there, and I will see the results. So anyway, I will see you next week on Just the Weight Loss.